It's that time again, y'all. Paternity results. Paternity court. Who is your daddy? Alright, so check it out, right? I done told y'all. This is the reboot. This is it. We're going to attack this paternity court. Now, you read the headings. You read this. You know what? I really have to start covering. I wish a lot of other people were covering this. They're not covering it, which makes me think, like, what are men doing? This, I mean, it's a whole revenue thing here. But besides it being revenue or profitable, but men, if shit, man, like, this is it. This is perfectly good reason why men should. This show exists because men should be wanting paternity tests to be mandatory. Paternity test has to be mandatory. It has to be. It has to be.
Ms. Gutierrez, you are suing your mom for paternity fraud and claim she has named 4 different men to be your father.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right? 4. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 men. And y'all, you know what? I'm gonna be real raw with this shit. Y'all niggas think that this shit is a game. It's not a game. Alright? Y'all got these women out here thinking they can just spread their legs for any other nigga and all the niggas. Stop! Yo, y'all better start moderating y'all women. This is not a game. This is the birthright that you have to pass down, okay, to the child. You better make sure the child is yours. Don't worry about that love shit. This woman that named 4 men. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. But it is fucking ridiculous. All right? Y'all like that? That's acting.
One of those men, Mr. McKinney, you have never met, and he is here today. You've had to put the pieces of your mom's puzzle together and hope today.
And see, that should never be allowed. This, I don't know how old she looks. She looks like she's definitely in her 20s. The fact that a child has to put together her mother's lies, most likely. Look, guys. Look, I say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. We're going to keep doing this. Paternity test has to be mandatory. The only reason why paternity tests are not mandatory because it will nullify and cancel out family court and divorce courts. So that means judges, lawyers, private investigators, these guys can't make money. These are crimes against humanity. The fact that a woman can name 4 men as a possibility. Let's continue.
Today's result will be the final piece. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sullivan, you testified that you did some questionable things in your past, but you are here to help your daughter get the closure she deserves. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So before we start, Jerome, can you please escort Mr. McKinney into the courtroom?
Yes.
Mr. McKinney's a simp. He was like, I love her. I love her.
Right up to the witness stand, next to the judge here.
Look at him. You ain't tough.
Up here.
You a simp. I don't know. I'm just joking, guys. I don't know.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gutierrez, I want to start with you. 4 possible fathers. 4.
Yes.
What has it been like living with this notion that you don't know which of 4 people could be your father?
It's been emotional, confusing. I'm embarrassed, especially because I'm a mom myself. So it's important for everyone.
Yeah, she should be. I mean, like, no, the child shouldn't be embarrassed at all. It's not your fault. It's your mother's fault. She should have all the embarrassment. She should be very embarrassed. I honestly, like, look, let me tell you something, man. Back in ancient times, women, what's the name? Women wouldn't even, not ancient times, I'm sorry. Back in the 30s or 40s or whatever, like, women that didn't know the father of their children, man, they went to the wayside. You know, they was like, yo, I'm just gonna fall back. I'm not gonna be this, da, da, da. They felt a big shame, but now there's a whole industry, a whole profitable industry behind single mothers that don't know their baby dad. All right, look at Maury, look at Jerry Springer, look at Ricky Lake, look at Jenny Jones. All throughout the 90s, this is bad. This is real bad, guys.
Want to know whether that person's a part of their life, you know, where they come from. And
how has this affected your relationship with your mother?
It's been distant. I've been like, I'm kind of angry at her.
Ms. Gutierrez, talk to your mother about the hurt you felt.
I just felt there was a part of me missing. I felt like you didn't really care that I was hurting about not knowing, or you didn't think that it was important to me when it really was. Whether that person was there for me or not, it's important to know where you come from. Who am I? Whose smile do I have? Whose laugh do I have? I mean, where do I get my sense of humor from? You know, it doesn't always.
Well, look, this is the last joke I'm making, but you obviously get your sense of humor from your mother because she thought it was a joke. She thought it was pretty fucking funny to have 4 different men run up in her and not know which one was your father. So you get your sense of humor from your mother. Sorry.
Always come from you, it comes from them, and I feel like it affected me, and even being a mother that I am now, you know, I can't tell my kids the truth because I don't know the truth.
Well, this is where we start telling truths so we can have a better understanding. Ms. Sullivan.
Judge, that's your job. That's your job. And I know you placating to the audience and TV and us at home. That's your job to bring forth the truth. The truth is absolute. Let's see what she got to say. I'm not going to waste any more time. This is not going to be a long video. She know better. And look, if you see her face, she has the face of a woman that is just A-okay with it all. And there's probably a deep resentment or a deep regret somewhere in that scowly look that she has. But listen, lady, and women like you, look, you're going to be tried by Almighty God, just like everybody else. Okay? We all live in a world, in a society to where men and women believe that they're not going to be tried for the wrongdoings that they're doing. Listen, ladies, if you're out here just spreading your legs for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, just grabbing up sperm to release kids, let me tell you something, that's not the way to go. And if you're only doing it because you want to benefit from a welfare system and a tax system that is taxing grown men that don't have kids, but they have to pay for those kids, that you are purposely laying down with men that you have no idea what they're about, let me tell you something, it's going to come back on you, and it's going to come back hard. Enough's enough. Time's up.
4 possible fathers. You submitted a timeline to the court. I'd like you to explain to the court how we got to this place.
I was dating my ex, who I met him at a restaurant that I worked at, and we were dating for a while. And then I found out that Mr. McKinney was going off to war, so I went to visit him where he lived at and spend the weekend with him before he went to war. Then I went back to my ex and was still dating him during that time, but then we broke up. And the weekend that we broke up, I went to go visit my sister, and I hooked up with Mr. Bryson. He was a friend years prior, a couple years prior, and so we just kept in touch. But when I went to visit my sister for that weekend, we were intimate that weekend.
Just one time, just that weekend?
Yes, just that weekend. And then I went back and was with my ex again. Then I decided to move back to my hometown. And the weekend that I moved back, I met Mr. Brown. And Mr. Brown and I started dating from the day that I moved there, and we stayed together for 5 years after that.
And all of this transpired within a 2-week window.
As far as I can remember, yes.
Good God, lady, are you serious? 2 weeks? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. Look, this is not a game. This is not even funny. She felt as though that she could bounce between 4 different guys and think it wasn't going to be a consequence in between. What are we doing here?
Which explains why we're here, involved in this case. So, Ms. Gutierrez, you were raised believing Mr. Brown was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And they do that. Women like her, promiscuous and very promiscuous women like her, they will do that. They will lie to that child and say, this is your father because I like him or the other ones. Men, I am not going to keep saying, well, I will keep saying it. Get the test. Get the test. Get the test. It's your life. Get the test.
It's okay, honey. Can you tell us?
And she's not ashamed. She knows what she did. The thing about, look, it's one thing to be shameful, and it's one thing to be regretful, and it's one thing to have some kind of remorse. The fact that she knew that she put her daughter through this crap, and the fact that she could just sit there and just be like, as far as I can remember.
Did you find out Mr. Brown was not your biological father?
I was around 8 years old.
8? What the?
And that's when the family member had said, I was there, she was watching me, and just blurted out, do I know that he's not my biological father?
At 8, someone told you that?
And Perry was, I'm your dad, you know? So I went on and I realized it, wasn't the truth. I remember going to a military base to take the picture for the insurance that I realized that was a different name.
Where would you see this different name?
On top of the insurance card. It had the first, middle initial, and the last.
And it was not?
It wasn't Perry. And then after that, I believe I talked to my mom, and that was when the ex was my dad. And I remember talking to him on the phone, and I cried because he said that he couldn't have anything to do with me. His wife didn't want him to have anything to do with me. Wow. And he wasn't even sure if he was my father.
Right. So, look, this has promiscuous behavior, especially. This is why I draw the line at just a woman being able to just sleep around all willy-nilly. Like, a man shouldn't be doing it either, but I believe that it's more of a problem. It's more of a problem if a woman does it, because that woman can get pregnant. Okay? And by law across the nation, that woman can just name any random man to be the father. Okay, and it takes a long ass time for that father to get DNA tests and results to prove he's not the father or to prove he is the father. But until then, that man still has to pay child support. Fellas, you gotta choose the woman correctly or you are in for a long run of headaches.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court,
Yes,
make sure to
I
subscribe
do,
and
Judge.
click
I
on
do, Judge.
Just a couple months, and until the point.
Let's move
So
forward.
instead of saying, you know,
All right, we know what
a
this is
few
all
years
about.
back,
We don't need it
Anson,
anymore.
last week, you are.
And there is
Let's see what's going
Did
on.
you know this?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He was the one that I thought.
who's Delane? Like, where did he come from? And then
This is my baby.
So, Miss Gutierrez, tell me how you found out about Mr. Bryson. How did he come into the picture? How did
she said, I know who your father is. It's Delane. And I was like, who's Delane? Like, where did he come from? And then I asked my Mr. Brown, Perry, about it. And then he started telling me, you know, you guys have the same hands. You know, y'all have the same skin problems. And, you know, that I knew that was your dad all along. Your mom just always denied to me, saying that wasn't your dad, it was the ex.
Really? So, Miss Sullivan, are there similarities? Did you know this?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He was the one that I thought mostly could be her father because the similarities were there, the skin tone and the temper. And I've always been ashamed to even admit to anybody that I had that time with him. So I never admitted it to anybody.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? A woman can name a man to be the father, even if she knows that he may not be the father, but just based off of, I like this guy. This guy is better than the guy that I did the deed with. So I'm going to go with this guy, right? Fellas, get the test.
Did you ever get a DNA test with Mr. Brown?
No, I never got a DNA test with him. When I met him, I had already been to the doctor like the week or week and a half before, and that's when I found out that I was pregnant.
And Mr. Brown actually submitted a statement to the court. It says, I met Larissa Gutierrez in the spring of 1991. We were together the first night of meeting each other. After about 2 weeks, she informed me that she was pregnant by a guy she was dating. I struggled with dating a woman.
So, medically, conception takes place anywhere between 0 hours and 2 weeks. So within 2 weeks, she slept with 4 different men. Guys, this is why I say get the paternity test done. You don't know. Between 0 hours, 0 days, and 0 weeks, and 2 weeks, conception takes place. All right? Let's just move forward here. This is the damn shame.
My love will never change for you.
Doctor was right.
So before,
I'm confident that
again, when it are not Tira's, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McKinney, you are not her father.
Well, I don't know why you're so damn upset, nigga. Like, it's one out of 4
I could see that
in a 2-week period.
you were almost hoping she was.
Yeah,
Why?
I was.
Why? Stop being a simp.
I'm sorry I could not deliver the result you wanted, but
Doesn't matter. That's not your.
In this
That's not your
courtroom,
job,
we
Judge.
deliver the truth.
That's not your job, Judge.
The next
your job
result?
is your job is to bring forth the truth. Your job is not to make somebody feel good. And he's a simp. Because let me tell you something. All the men that slept with that woman, they knew what she was about. and you got this grown woman right here, most likely spend their whole life confused, deranged, and just upset, all because her mother couldn't keep her damn legs closed. I don't give a fuck. Y'all women need to chill the fuck out with this bullshit.
It's from Mr. Bryson. In the case of Gutierrez versus Sullivan, when it comes to 26-year-old Parrish Gutierrez, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Bryson is her father.
You know what? Fuck that audience. That audience is so cornballish. You know what? Look, I'm good with the whole screen. Look, I get it, right? I get it. Yes, maybe I was being hard. Maybe I was being this. Maybe I was that. But this is real emotions, real feelings. Since women always want to talk about emotions, they want to talk about feelings, they want to talk about this. Da, 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 da. Look, real emotion. That 26-year-old woman had to go through a lot of BS, a lot of lies that her mother put forward just because she didn't like the guy. And she figured to keep it away from her daughter all those years. Fellas. There are red flags when it comes to women. Mostly if they have too many guy friends. All right? We're living in the age of social media. Right? So, would it be wise for a man with no kids to deal with a woman with kids, two different baby dads, right? Would it be wise for that man to deal with that woman, and that woman tends to have more men that she's talking to? This is something, man, y'all gotta figure out. Y'all gotta start something. Wake up. If you want an 18-year, 25-year prison sentence with these women, by all means, do you. It ain't gonna be me. Peace.